Okay, this is our correlation coefficient practice worksheet. At the top, it says linear regression. So I'm just going to cross that out. I'm going to write correlation because a lot of this worksheet is about linear regression, but we already had a lesson about that. So I'm using this to help us review correlation coefficients. So it says linear regression because the last two on the first page, or the last one on the first page and then the ones on the back are about linear regression, but we're just going to go through like one or two of those. So the first part says describe the correlation and match the R values to the graph. So the first thing is we need to figure out if these are positive, if they're negative, if they're strong, weak, moderate, stuff like that. So on number 1, we can kind of draw a trend line here that's going up. So we know that this one is going to be positive. And if we look at A, that one has a negative sign there. So it's not A, it's not going to be B, it's not going to be C, so it could be D or E because we know it's positive. And then on number 2, this trend line that we could draw is also positive. So we know that 1 and 2 are going to be D and E. Now, if you look at number 1, you can see that the points are closer together to the line. They're closer to the line. So that would mean that it's a strong correlation. And on number 2, I would probably say this is a moderate correlation. So remember, the stronger the correlation, the closer the number will get to 1. So if we look at D, it's 0.85. So that one is 1, and then E is 0.669. So that would be number 2. So we have these two done. Now we just need to match the rest. So if we look at this on number 1 right here, or sorry, on A, this number is super close to 0. It's like 0.019. So this is going to be a very weak correlation. The next one is negative 0.99. So this is going to be like super strong. This is going to be a very strong negative correlation. And then the next one is negative 0.4. So this would be a moderate correlation. Let me rewrite that M. So now we have our 3, 4, and 5 graphs. So if you look at this, which one do you think looks like the very, very weak one? If we could draw a line on 3, we know it has to be negative, but it doesn't really look like it has a slope or like the points are linear or anything. So this one would be very weak. And we could possibly say that this has no correlation because 0.019, negative 0.019, that is a very, very, very small correlation. So we could practically say it has no correlation. On number 4, this one, if we draw a trend line, my ink is so thick that it covers up most of the points and there are very, very few off of the line. So this one would be B because this is very strong. 0.99, negative 0.99 is a very, very, very strong correlation. It's almost perfect. And then our last one, we know it has to be C, but we can also tell that because we can draw a negative line here, a negative slope for this line. And then the points are kind of off of the graph, so this looks like a moderate correlation. So that's our first section with the matching